Tommy Sotomayor, very controversial podcaster, former current YouTuber, social media person. I used to listen to him a few years back because the guy, is intelligent. Uh, I agree with some of the things he has said, but over the years, over time, his YouTube channels have been like deleted like 50, 11 times over the controversial stuff he says, and mainly against black women. And that's one reason why I stopped listening to him because he because that used to be like his main focus was talking down about black women. Not sure what kind of relationships he was in, which I don't understand people who do that because I've been dated, married, divorced, turned down, broken up with black women all my life. Besides maybe Hispanic here and there, sprinkling Hispanic here, but I don't sit here and talk bad about them. And no, it's not because my mama black. I'm a kids, my daughters are black. Forget that. It's just I don't see like the hate a whole dang. I don't understand how hating a whole species of people just because you got a few that didn't like it, don't agree with you, shut you down, did you dirty. Okay, that's fine. But I look and I get maybe it's because my mom and dad have been married for almost 50 years. So maybe I see, black couples in the house being married. So that's probably why. And I've seen other friends of mine whose mom and dad parents are still been married, still together, been married for decades. So maybe that's the what I grew up around and why, like I say, I'm not going to sit here and just bash black women as a whole. But this video from Tommy Sotomayor came across my TikTok feed and I was debating on if I wanted to play it because at the end, he said something that a lot of black women are not gonna like. But that's not what I want to harp on because this is one thing you got to understand. They always, people when they don't like you, they don't want to listen to nothing you have to say. If you say something they don't like one time, you can say 99 things that they agree with. But you say one thing that they don't like or one thing that really hurts them, everything else is out the window. Don't mean nothing, don't hold no validity. And I'm not the type of person. I try to listen to everybody, and what Kevin Samuels used to say: chew the meat and spit out the bones, or chew the fat, spit out the bones, something like that, or whatever. You know what I'm trying. You know what I'm trying to say. But you take the wisdom and you work off that. You live off that. You grow off that, and the stuff that don't make sense because hey, and no, you're not going to agree with everybody 100% of the time. But there's just no way. There's no way you can because hell, majority of us don't believe 100% what's in the Bible. And we call ourselves, well, not we, but we call ourselves being Christians or Hebrew Israelites or whoever else read the scriptures. But we don't believe or do 100% what the Bible says. So I don't want to hear about that. But anyway, he came out with this video, and I want to play it. I'm gonna try to play it in its entirety. But I want you guys to understand. Don't focus on this small piece that he's going to say in the end. Focus on the topic, the bigger picture. But let me go ahead and play it, okay? And then you can understand what I'm talking about. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it.
So you notice how they portray men versus black men versus how they portray black women?
Now, I had to stop it here. 5 seconds in. Like I said, I'm gonna let it all play out. He said how they portray black men and black women. What he's saying is the powers that be, those in control of the media, in control of what you see every day, the businesses, the big wigs, the big money. He's saying how they portray us as black men and how they portray black women. Okay, remember that now. Stay with that part. All right, let's go.
I said, you notice how they portray men versus black men versus how they portray black women? I said, look at all the black men on all of the commercials. I said, you can go from the black men who used to be thugs like Snoop Dogg. They're regular people now. They grew up to be regular people. All the black women, they still tough, get your toe, mammy. Why is that? Why is that Halle Berry, when she was with white men, was nice and sweet? Now that she got a black boyfriend, she taking videos of herself laying in the bed. Why is it that the half breed whose mama is Diana Ross, why she showing her panties on videos? But look at all the black men. Even the young black boy, Travis Hunter, they got him talking like he got sense, acting like he got sense. Look at Jamar Chase. Him and Jefferson both got grills, still talk like they got sense. Yet we got Jasmine Crockett, who is a United States Congresswoman, cussing and acting stupid.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right here. Let's go back to what he's saying, how they're portraying us. And when he say portray, well, let me say, when I say portray, it's not meaning that all black men and all black women are like this. It's what the media is putting out there. He said 50 Cent. We remember 50 Cent, in the club, being a thug, bottles, popping bottles full of bub, whatever. Uh Jay-Z, same thing. Marcy Projects, crack dealer, moving weight, whatever the case may be. Now these two dudes are Master P, same thing. Now these three men are major multi-million, maybe even billionaires, thanks to maybe in part by the music that they did when they was younger. But now they're in business. They don't do music much, if at all. They don't put that message out there no more, if at all. They are growing up. They're wearing suits and ties, tailor made. Like I said, I don't know if he said it yet. Like Ice T, Ice Cube, stuff like that. These guys used to be, gangsters and gang bangers and street dudes. And when they got in their 40s and 50s, they grew up. But not saying, like, again, like all black men, because there are still some guys that in their 40s that I know or knew back in the day, and even know now, who still, what I'm saying, claiming, try to say Snoop Dogg, but Snoop Dogg, he don't say it as much right now, but not even a couple years ago at the Super Bowl, he's wearing like a blue bandana suit. Still, what I'm saying, throwing up the sea, still hollering Crip, Long Beach. You know what I'm saying? Getting older, he's still not. I don't know what's the hell wrong with Snoop. That's a story for a different time. But you still got Big U in prison, man in his 50s. Suge Knight still talk like he a thug. There's still guys out there that still try to portray that street persona. Jim Jones, you know what I'm saying? Try to do that, still do that. And these guys are too old. You know what I'm saying? You got the guys who are in their 40s and 50s still talking about gang banging, street code, this and the third. You got to grow out of that. What I'm saying is who the big money in your face trying to portray, so I'm trying to put out there for us to see when it comes to, like, say, black men. On the other hand, like I said, you got Jasmine Crockett, who seems like it's going backwards. I've seen the videos of Jasmine Crockett when she was young in her political days, speaking, speaking clearly, proper, just using proper English, speaking clearly. Let me just say that. Now she's sister girl is snapping her neck, that all this kind of stuff. My mama don't do that. My mama like Jasmine Crockett, you know what I'm saying, because she's a black woman. I understand that. But I'm like, Jasmine Crockett need to be out here actually doing something for us and represent us and showing us what an education looks like, instead of trying to dumb herself down to the average everyday street code. Just think she's gonna get some votes or whatever the case may be. Who else was a sister girl? What was that? The woman that just ran for vice president, Kamala Harris. Same thing. Y'all got degrees in college. I tell you, my daughters told me stories about how their own family members, cousins, used to say she talked white. Hell, I had family members tell my sister the same thing when she was growing up. Ooh, did the girl sound white? I was like, no, my kids sound like they read a book, did some essays, had them reading during the summer and during school. You know what I'm saying? Doing presentations, AP classes, went to college, got degrees. That's what my children sound like. Nothing more, nothing less. It ain't white, it ain't black, it ain't nothing. It just sound like somebody who well-rounded and not trying to prove to anybody else who they are, that their blackness and anything like that. They just human beings raised in this society, and that's what they was taught, and that's how they was learned. No, that's what they taught. That's how they learned. That's what they learned. I'm sorry. But yeah, to me, Jasmine Crockett went backwards. I would love to support Jasmine Crockett. You just don't know how much I want to support Jasmine Crockett just based on I know this woman can do great things because she knows the law. What do I tell y'all? You have to know taxes and you have to know law in this country to be able to actually get ahead and survive and to make change. You got to understand how those two things work. I'm sure there's other things you got to understand too, like racism, this and the third. But those two things, those are the basis of this country, which makes this country run. And she understands law. At least I hope so, because she went to law school and became a lawyer. Now she's in Congress. I don't want to see my congresswoman or congressman job talking, street talking like they went to regular public school with a basic education, and part of the group where only 17 to 21% read and are proficient at their grade level in math and reading and science. I don't want her to sound like that. I want her to be someone that our children look up to and say, I can do like a Barack Obama, Michelle Obama. You don't see them out there doing job talk. You see Barack Obama go to, slick talk and slick walk, you know what I'm saying, to become president. And it doesn't matter what we think about them personally. If we feel that they did the black community right or they did wrong to the black community, not talking about that. We're talking about the way that they are portrayed out there in society. So, like I say, there are black women out there, Oprah Winfrey, other black women who are portrayed like they got some sense, like they got educated, like they've grown up past a little 15-year-old self that a lot of these people get stuck in. But what we're talking about is how they are portrayed in the media. But let's continue.
We got the so-called black woman who ran for president, who's still out there using the F word, dropping the F bomb.
Right. Now you're gonna say, well, Donald Trump, dropping curse words and talking about grabbing men and pee and this and the third. Don't nobody care. That's not my concern. My concern is my people. What are my people doing? Stop sitting there saying that, well, Trump did this bad and Trump did that bad. So why can't I don't want to hear that. See, those are the things that I taught with my children when they was going to school and they say they got a bad grade or they got in trouble or something like that at school. And first thing they said, well, so and so only a couple of kids passed. Most of everybody got a bad grade on this assignment on this test. And I'm like, well, how many people passed? It was like 5, and how many people got A's? Like 2. So why you didn't get A? Well, Dad said most of the people. I don't care about what most people did. I don't tell me about what the lowest did. Tell me how those people that got A's, how did they get those A's? Those are the kids I need you to talk to, along with your instructor, to see, well, how the heck you messed up. Grandboy, he said, I remember the day he came over here and he said, hey, he's like, Papa, on some test he had, I think it was a science test or something. He said, or English something. He said, I got a 95. He said, I got one wrong, so I got a 95. I like, congratulations, gave him the dap, everything. I said, okay, so what you get wrong? And he was like, I don't know. What was the question? Oh, I don't remember. You didn't look it over? I said, let me tell you something. It's great that you got a 95. I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? You did great. But when you do something wrong, figure out why you got it wrong. In order to, when next time you see it, you may see this question again on a test in the future and you get it right. Or if anything, you just want to see how you messed up because maybe you did something, your preparation was wrong for this question. So the next time you get ready to study, you'll study a little different. You're prepared different in order for you to get 100. It's like going out there, and I try to give an analogy of basketball, playing sports. You go out there and you're trying out for a team and you can shoot, you can dribble, you can jump, but your defense is sorry. So then you get cut from the team. You ain't gonna just, but you don't know why you got cut from the team. Your name just wasn't on the list. And so you say, oh, I just try next year. And you keep doing the same thing over and over again, the same stuff. You don't improve on your defense. You still worried about your offense because that's what your game is set. Come out there next year, get cut again. But if you get cut that first time and you say, Coach, man, what did I do wrong? How come I didn't make the team? He said, well, I want to see you play better defense. You know what I'm saying? Your defense, you let the guy you was going against score, all these points. You didn't even foul him. You didn't even try to play no defense. You just run down the court trying to shoot. You need to improve your defense. Now you know what you need to do. So the next time you come back, you're playing perfect. And that's what I'm saying. That's like I said, that's the analogy I give. Just like when you're doing something wrong, you just continue. But anyway, let me get off my soapbox. Let me let Tommy speak.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. Look at how he acts. I'm telling y'all, if you look at us as black men, we're not them. They are an embarrassment.
I don't agree with that.
You see a black man putting on a night. No. You said Travis Hunter Cook. I said, look at how he's act. Look at him in his commercials is what I asked you. Say whatever you want to say. Look at how they have him portrayed in the commercial. Do they have him portrayed as some ghetto thug hood dude?
Like he said, how the powers that be portray us in public so that our children can see, which would be why the young girls would be, what I'm saying, some of the girls would follow someone like Megan Thee Stallion. Let's just talk about, like, say, so let's give some examples. Megan Thee Stallion, Klay Thompson. How's Klay Thompson? Klay Thompson is a squirrel. I mean, he's an average, everyday, light skinned dude who can play basketball because the mom and dad grew up with his mom and dad. And daddy played ball with the Lakers, won a couple championships. Was a center. Klay Thompson grew up in a nice neighborhood. He got no reason to be dating someone like Megan Thee Stallion, who is still doing songs about her with JJ. Even a quote unquote love song, still talking raunchy about her female body parts. Having grown from the WAP song, which was out years ago, still rapping about the same thing, and women are tired of this now. They're like, man, Megan singing about something else. She ain't grown up. Megan Stallion ain't 18. Megan Stallion ain't no 20, 21 years old. Megan Stallion is older. Lizzo has grown up, from what I'm hearing. Lizzo is maturing, doing better, losing weight. Got that man that's quiet but probably holding her down. She's probably listening to him and anybody else that's around her. Lizzo saying and said that the music that she wants to do, she's putting out independent because major labels won't put out her music because it's not the raunchy bullcorn that they want her to put out. Again, the media is doing this because for some reason they want our women to look like an embarrassment, over sexualized for whatever reason. Are women, and we don't see it promoting the rappers, the female rappers. All they do is twerk and gyrate and got a body full of tattoos from their ear on down. Uh, Eyelashes like out to here and rapping all raunchy. I know you got women that curse when they talk and this, that, and the third. I understand that. It's not really my favorite thing to hear, but it is what it is. But we talk about the raunchiness that they allow to be portrayed out there, or even the gangster music that they want portrayed out there. Even when these women get older, they still have that persona And that's what I don't like.
They don't. Yeah, even 50 Cent putting on suits.
Think about 50 Cent and Vivica Fox. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent was like thuggish. Dated Vivica Fox. He done matured, got older. I think he said that they broke up because he had plans and dreams of doing something and he wasn't there yet. And she wasn't trying to wait and wasn't trying to, because maybe she didn't think he was going to make it. And so they end up breaking up. And you see what he turned out to be. And Vivica Fox, still single, still talking, popping next, sister girl, this, that stuff in the third. Business owner, independent. Yeah, I get it. But she ain't, like I say, there's no, to me, there's no public maturity in it. And we as black people don't see that for some reason.
Ice-T, Ice Cube. They went from F the police and cop deleter to both playing policemen.
And you know what? The stories that the Ice T and Ice Cube said, I know one of them said that, I think no Ice T for sure. He did an interview and he said that he was going to act and he was offered a part to play a policeman. What is it, tutorial on Law and Order? And he went to his homeboys and was like, man, they want me to play a cop, sent a third. He said his homeboys told him, man, you better go play that role and get that money. What you talking about? You need to do something none of us can do, getting out the hood, man. You better go and play that role and be the best policeman you can be. And that's exactly what he did. He didn't have his homeboys and tell him, man, you play that policeman, you're gonna sell out. You know what I'm saying? We know we don't like cops and this, that, and the third, and forget the police and all that kind of stuff. No. They see the bigger picture, they see the bag, they understand what he's doing, and they know, hey, everybody want to get out the hood and get away from that lifestyle. At least most of them. You got some guys who, for some reason, went backwards. I say Chris Brown, Lil Wayne. You rapping and singing like regular raps, and all of a sudden you become grown, and now you got a red rags hanging out your pocket. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. If that's the thing.
We grow up. Black women don't. We grow up. Black women don't.
Now I don't agree with that wholeheartedly because I think it's on both sides. I know some men, like I said in the beginning, who still act 15. And I know some women who still act 15. I done told stories about, so I remember girls, the women talk about, man, when I was younger, I used to fight all the time and scrap all the time. Wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't care about fighting. Now it's like dudes, a lot of times we won't tell too much about past. If you don't know our story by the time we in our 30s and 40s, we're not really telling it unless maybe we write a book. I know like my life story, things that I've done growing up and been through, my kids don't even know. My ex might know some stuff, but my kids, you know what I'm saying, and my current woman don't know exactly how I, you know what I'm saying, how I grew up. Where they know where I grew up. You know what I'm saying? When I tell somebody I grew up in the grove, they say, oh, okay. So you ain't no L7. You ain't no square. I'm like, yeah, I am. That's who you know. That's who you know me as. That's what I am. I ain't gonna sit here and try to prove nothing to nobody out here on these internet streets or in the streets, period. Look, I'm a man trying to pay taxes and try to build wealth and try to build enough money to where when I get older, I ain't really gotta work and still got money coming in. That's all I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to live every day. Trying to get home every night. That's my goal now. I ain't not 18, 17, 6, you know what I'm saying, young and with dumb ideas and dumb thoughts walking out the house. Now it's like, shoot, man, I'm old enough to be a grandpa. Are you crazy? I'm trying to live to be a grandpa, great grandpa, and whatever other great grands I can become. No, we ain't talking about nothing I did back in the day. This hell is even some people that I won't even communicate with no more because I know that they still on that level. But anyway,
We put a good image out of black men. They don't. Their image is the exact same. When you gonna get too old to walk around showing your butt? When you gonna grow up?
and I don't understand that. And I think, well, I only got a few seconds. Let me see.
Derek Stingley just got engaged to a white woman.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Oh, like you're saying about Tracy Ellis Ross, I hear doing videos, and what's the other one name? Like the twins. I hear doing videos and picture shoots in lingerie, y'all in y'all 40s and 50s and single. And first thing you want to holler is women empowerment, but it's all about your body and your sexuality. But yet you don't want to be over sexualized by men. But you never see a man talking about man empowerment wearing what was it called? Fusheisty mask and skinny jeans and walking around with a Draco at 40 or 50 years old, talking about, selling dope at 40 and 50 years old. You don't see that and talk about men empowerment. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? We don't do that. But again, it's about what's portrayed in the media. And then with that being portrayed in the media, it'll cause a certain group of people to say, well, that's what I gotta be because that's what men like. N- Not at that age. At that age, men don't like that. Men don't have to have that. All we gotta have is, like I say, a family, pay some taxes, and go home every night. We ain't trying to please nobody because we already know what it's about. It's about them circles you run in. You're trying to create a legacy, trying to make money and pass it down to your children. It ain't about us and how we feel and how we think people should look at us. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story, about the topic I'm talking about, not what Tommy Sotomayor said about women growing up and not growing up. No, talking about how the media portrays. Because I'm hoping that a lot of women and young will understand this and teach these young girls to gravitate more to professional women because they're out there. They're on the internet. A lot of them, mothers, wives, professional women, business owners. They're out there. They're just not the ones that's promoted. You got to kind of just find it out there on the internet. Those are the ones that you need to help gravitate your daughters to, not the Megan the Stallions or Cardi B's. Hell, I'd even say kick with Nicki Minaj because I don't think she's doing anything too bad right now. But those two, nah, keep them away from that. But anyway, tell me what you think about the story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those four things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here at this channel. With that being said, I leave you in peace, love, and I'll see you on the other side.